I think it's pretty safe to say that I'm a huge fan of TV shows and movies. Over the past 22 years, I've seen countless movies and TV shows. And hear me out, this sounds a little dramatic, but of all the movies and TV shows I've ever seen, not one of them has evoked such an emotional response like the movie Interstellar. Interstellar is a 2014 sci-fi directed by Christopher Nolan, starring Matthew McConaughey and Anne Hathaway. There are so many things in this movie that I would argue make it pretty close to, if not perfect. The cinematography in this movie is absolutely stunning. I haven't seen a movie that looks this good. And arguably, one of the best parts of this movie is the score by Hans Zimmer. This guy is known to make great scores for movies, however, this one is just over the top. I'm surprised it didn't get an Oscar nomination. Also, there's a lot of really complex themes. The first time I watched this with my friend from high school, when it ended, we just sat there and thought, what happened? We thought about it for hours, we watched breakdown videos, we talked about it. However, what this video is not is going to be a video talking about why this movie works or why it's amazing. One, that's already been done before, and two, it would be too long of a video. What this video is, however, is an argument for what the movie is actually about at its core value. When you take away the space and the suspense and the mystery, what is this movie about? What makes it work? And this sounds crazy at face value, but I'm arguing that Interstellar is a movie about love. So let's start with the exposition. The movie spends a decent amount of time showing the cute moments between Cooper and his kids. That way, as the audience, we get invested and the stakes are higher throughout the movie. Now, we have two quotes in this movie that I would argue advocate for the idea that this movie is about love.
Love is the one thing we're capable of perceiving that transcends dimensions of time and space.
How, Cooper?
Love, Taj, love. It's just like Brand said. My connection with Murph, it is quantifiable. It's the key.
Towards the end of the movie, when Cooper falls into a black hole, he's in this multi-dimensional area where he realizes that he was Murphy's ghost. After an emotional scene, he realizes he can try to communicate with Murphy. Now remember these quotes as he goes through the multiple dimensions trying to communicate with her. His connection with Murphy is what drives him, sure, but it's more about the other quote. It's almost as if Cooper is a metaphor for love. As he goes through the dimensions, he is transcending space and time, his love for his family with him. So when you think about it, in Anne Hathaway's quote, he is the love, and he is transcending space and time. I mean, this is how we get to the end of the movie. This is how the resolution is reached. He uses love to communicate with Murphy, and this leads to his survival. When we have the time jump and he watches all the videos of his kids getting older, saying goodbye, he reunites with his daughter. All of these are driven by love. Love is the driving force of this movie. That's why Cooper does everything he does in this movie, starting from when he left. Without love, what do we have in this movie? Great music, great CGI, but other than that, it's just another space movie. It gives the movie meaning, it gives the viewer something to think about. Christopher Nolan often ends his movies like this. For example, look at Inception. And are there other themes in this movie? 100%, absolutely. However, what I'm arguing is that the motivation behind it all, when you strip away everything, all the CGI, all the acting, all that fun stuff, is that it's a movie about people, and it's a movie about love.